5 interesting nuances. Men can learn about relationships. I don't hide the fact that I also consult women who, one way or another, are dealing with men, breakups, or restoring relationships. I'll describe a few points that can help men better understand relationship mechanisms and the principles I talk about on this channel. May women forgive me, but I can't not write about this. 1. At first, I didn't see him as a man. To be clear, this refers to a point when there already was a relationship. Do you see how, at the very start, a girlfriend might not even consider a man as a man, simply because at that moment his significance is effectively zero? Her reasons for still deciding to enter a relationship can vary, and they're not always about really needing a relationship. Not necessarily really, and not necessarily needing. What happens when a man in such a setup is very in love with the girlfriend and decides to switch on the alpha mode to tie her to him? A girlfriend who has no significance toward him starts feeling nauseated quickly, and the relationship ends soon enough. In this situation, a man must be alpha, not wear a silly mask. Being alpha means controlling your own life, not trying to control someone else's. Focus on the other person, not on yourself. Usually it's the opposite, and when the trap snaps shut, all masks fall off because they're just masks. Does the alpha mask work at all? Yes, of course, but only with girlfriends who are already attached to you. You would have managed fine even without it there. In the mirror, you don't look like that. You see an ordinary guy. Yet in the girlfriend's eyes, you initially come off as Bond, Bourne, or Norris. But if a girlfriend knows how to behave, she'll play your mask and then show you how pathetic you look in it. 2. I was attracted by his simplicity and openness. I most often hear this from girlfriends who left stability for substitute, rebound relationships that later ended. The point is that simplicity and ease attract more than big but complicated money. Any woman will leave a relationship where everything is stable, but it's hard to breathe, for one where it's easier to breathe. So don't compare your financial level to other men's. A woman sees her prospects not in money, but in you. To be seen as promising, you don't need a million. Enough are a spark in your eyes, desire, and the steps you're taking toward your goal. The path matters more here. Of course, you won't look promising if all your plans boil down to coming home, drinking beer, and lying on the couch. But if it's easy with you, you don't pressure or drain the person, and you also have a dream you're pursuing. You already become more attractive than a good half of other men because you have a fire in you, add a neat appearance and a developed spontaneity, and you're priceless. See? All these elements can be developed to the needed level, and it's not as hard as it seems. 3. My ex tried to get me back. It made me sick. Even now, I try not to run into him. In consultations, I often ask questions for statistics. You won't believe it, but it irritates a girlfriend when you try to win her back by the cannon. Flowers, champagne, and stalking everywhere possible. Everyone falls into two groups. I'm so tired of his love, and why isn't he writing? He loves me, or not. When you fuss over your love like a hen with an egg, you turn your feelings into a laughing stock. You want to show her how happy she should be that such a great person as you chose her as his queen. But right now, she sees a hawker of unwanted counterfeit perfume, ready to give it away for free, just to be appreciated. A dignified person will never parade his attachment and make it a joke. And if you still think you must do everything to show someone you love them, understand, they already see it, but they don't see your value and they can't place your love anywhere because it carries no value, yet demands too much. 4. 3 years of a relationship passed, but I still don't know anything about him. Yet, I love him. This is perhaps one of the most interesting. In one form or another, it's very common to hear that a girlfriend learned certain facts about a man only after several years together. This only confirms what I often describe in my videos. If you control your life but focus on the other person, your significance is bound to grow. Why does the girlfriend know nothing about the man? Because she's usually the one talking, and the conversations are about her life. Every person wants to feel their own significance. Read Carnegie. When a man listens, a woman is surprised. How so? A man isn't beating his chest, constantly telling how cool he is, what mammoths he hunted, and how awesome his cave is. Of course, she tests the man. Maybe he's simply far below her objectively. If he passes the checks more or less correctly, the woman understands he controls his life. At that moment, his significance starts to grow rapidly. You won't be liked more just because you're cool. Your achievements can command respect, sure, but that has never led to the moment when something clicks for a girlfriend. He told me how cool he is, and oh my God, I want his children. But when you listen and are genuinely interested in the other person's life, the girlfriend feels her own significance, and now that feeling is associated with you. 5. We date shoulder to cry on guys, but we don't love them. We're talking about the behavior where a man tries to be comfortable. That's the very moment he stops controlling his life, or never knew how. He focuses on the woman and hands over the keys to his life. At first, it's great. He does everything I want, always ready to help, listens to me, gives gifts. And then what? Then it becomes clear that in this relationship, the man wants to give 50% of himself to the girlfriend, split her in two, and take half for himself. All would be fine if the man's 50% had greater value than her own 50%. But it's hard to value that half when all the person has is adapting to moods and desires. Hey, do you have anything of your own? A word, a desire, a thought, a position? Often none of that is visible. Why do girlfriends so often date such men? Because this man is a link in the chain of a woman's formation. After a rough breakup, you want a man to be a stable support. Seeing a man's stability and high significance toward her, a girlfriend decides to stop searching for high feelings, falling hurts afterward, and just be happy in a feminine way. It seems like with Anthony it could work. But though Anthony is stable, he's not a support. He needs to lean on the girlfriend himself. So Angela leans on Anthony, Anthony leans on Angela, and they slowly slide down. For Anthony, even that might be okay, but Angela clearly wanted something else. And then she leaves again in search of sharper feelings. Epilogue. It's always interesting to listen not only to men, but to women as well. If there are women in your circle, ask them to tell you about past relationships. Don't ask direct questions, and you'll learn a lot of interesting things that will help you understand the female point of view.